A Girl Who Will Live in History Forever by Jessica. Helen Keller had a hard early life. She was born on June 27, 1880 in Tuscaloosa, Alabama. Helen had an illness that took her sight and hearing, which left her deaf and blind. Her parents, Arthur and Katie, were very worried about her. Helen started school in 1896. Helen enjoyed things that you and me like. For example, she liked riding a horse and bike. Do you feel bad for Helen like I do? Did you know that Helen Keller was deaf and blind and still wrote books? In 1918, Helen also starred in a movie. Here is a really cool fact about Helen. Helen learned to read Braille. The only way Helen could communicate is to write words in people's hands. Well, I hope you have learned a lot about Helen's life. Helen Keller was a very strong little girl who had a hard childhood, but that was not the end of the world for her. Helen got a teacher named Anne. They became best friends for 48 years. Anne died in a house of fire. Her friend's death was a tragedy for Helen. In 1964, Helen was awarded the Presidential Medal of Freedom. After Anne's death, Helen tried to raise money for the blind people like her. On June 1st, 1968, Helen said her goodbyes to the world and passed away. Helen Keller had a great life. I am sure she will live in history forever.